This is week 3 of our SaaS project. The project is called RedFlags, and it's a feature flag management for small teams that don't want to include the tech debt into their system. This week's update is from Greece. We are on vacation at the moment, and I managed to get some progress before we left, and I'm doing some progress here before going to the pool. So things are a bit slow, but I'm still going to keep you posted. So let's have a look. The roadmap first. What has happened? According to the plan, I should be finished with the backend. I have 2 tasks open. One is like flag metadata. I'm going to keep that for like the whole second iteration. And the other part is deploy to servers. So other than that, the backend is done. I have implemented account level ownership for the flags. I have implemented users tied to an account. Users with a JWT token can query flags only belonging to the account. So that is working. We can have a look at that in a second. And then I started with the next week, which is creating the UI. The tasks in this are very broad because I don't know how to separate them. I am, as I said, no UI guy. I'm mainly using ChatGPT and vibe coding my way through it. But first, the backend. So, as I said, I have implemented account and user models. I already realized that I need to update some things in here, but for the MVP, I think this is fine as it is. I'm just going to show you what we can do. I have also played around with Postman a lot, with the like PostScript stuff. We always need to create an account. I have some initial data for testing purposes, but I want to see the whole flow. With the account, we get an account ID and account name. And for that account, we can then register a user. I have hard-coded username and password in my environment, so I can reuse this and just speed things up. And we can see user registered successfully. This is the login. If we log in, we can update the JWT token in our environment. That should have worked on its own. And then we can show all the flags that are tied to the account. And as we can see, there are none. And so then we can create flags. Here we go. Let's post a flag with or 2 flags, 3 flags, whatever. And then if we run flags all, we should be able to see those 3 flags. Perfect. Also, we can get a flag by a certain name and unique ID. So that's the endpoint that is actually going to be used for the system. And this is the one that I'm going to redesign because it's currently using one big data table, and I'm going to change that. But yeah, as you can see, everything is working. We have ownership in there. I have created some tests, not to like a proper test-driven design level, but just working in the MVP level. Let me close this so my laptop can get some resources back, and then we can have a look at the front end. Front end. I started with this at the pool, just sketching out what I wanted the UI to look like, basically. I was thinking very minimal. We have like a top bar with like the default logo on the left and user and settings on the right. And then below we have a sidebar which is basically the navigation. So we have flags and unique IDs as the 2 top level navigations. And then we have flag stats and unique ID stats, which is going to be like some kind of system metrics later on. And then we have the big core centerpiece, which is then the content that we actually can see. And with the help of ChatGPT, a lot of vibe coding, and a lot of debugging, I managed to create the components. Sidebar is running, top bar is running, and for now the flag page. Everything is just placeholders, basically, and this is not connected to the backend in any way. And yeah, ChatGPT suggested to use Chakra UI, which I then did. because I, again, don't know anything about it. But yeah, this is what I have so far for the front end after 1 day of working on it. And as you can see, we are pretty close to the image that I have drawn. It even took the colors for like the separation. No. All jokes aside, I think it's already somewhat looking what I intended. Again, nothing is tired. There's no wiring in between, and overall it already gives like an impression of what things could be. Like a very simple setup. You have like 4 points of interest that you can go into, and yeah, that's it for the front end. If we have a look at our roadmap, obviously I need to finish the UI. I need to have UI for every backend component, and I want to improve the backend furthermore. And that's for the next 2 weeks. So there's a lot of room for me to work on this, and there's a lot of room for improvements. And this is what I'm going to focus on. As soon as the front end is finished, I'm going to share with some friends and colleagues to get their opinion and get like a first alpha round of feedback. That's it so far for this week's update. I'm going to go down to the pool again, and yeah, I'm going to make as much progress, but I'm going to prioritize vacation over project. See you next week. Bye.